My last video is the 2-year-olds. Gives me a chance to marinate in video making. I wanted to, obviously when I'm doing my 3-year-olds, I'm not talking about the 2-year-olds, but I did do a top 10 list earlier, and I did want to just let it sink in, right? I was taking my time going through New York. Now, I'm not going to advocate for speeding. You should never speed when you're in a car. But if you were going to speed, don't do it through New York State, and don't do it on this highway. What is this, the 70, 90, the I-90? Don't do it on that road. Bad. No, I didn't get pulled over today, but I have been pulled over twice this year, and both almost in the same stretch of highway. I'm trying my best to learn, but I'm a bit of a stubborn bugger in that regard, I guess. So, let's get to the 2-year-olds. I gave you all my top 10 list. There were so many horses that could have went on that top 10 list. And, you know, this time of year we have horses that are going to be turned out. There's horses that, there are some horses that just aren't going to be good enough. We're going to see them come up. There's going to be a couple come up, I'm sure of it, that we hoped and prayed. We want to see what are they going to do when they get to the start gate? They get to the start gate and it's like, well, that sucked. That's going to happen. We're all going to get our hearts broke a little bit. But then every so often we're going to get one that we didn't see coming. Much like Gorgeous Package. I talk about her a lot over the last month. I just think that she's turned into a tremendous animal. And although I don't know how deep she is, I don't know where her ceiling is, I can tell you that she's a really, really nice horse. And even if she turns out to be no faster than she is right now, there'll still be places to race her, I can assure you of that. Anyway, let's get to it. Allie's Got Grit. I was happy with what I saw. Now, I just saw him. He trained a 1.5 miles, 2:28 speed the other day. We're not going to speed with Allie's Got Grit or What a Lady, What a Night. There's just no need to. They're not going to race till August. Somebody sent me a message. Well, there's fairs. Hey, we're not going to any fairs. We're going to get them ready to go and race them in Hawthorne and DuQuoin, the Illinois State Fair. I would love to find a gap in my schedule this summer to say to Amy and the kids, let's go to DuQuoin or the Illinois State Fair. I was at the Illinois State Fair 2 years ago. Just a really, really nice place. It's just super old feeling to it, right? You just feel that heritage in racing, much like you do at the Jug or Lexington. Well, it's that same type of vibe at the Illinois State Fair that I was at anyway. I never did get to DuQuoin yet, but I'd like to go drive them. I hope they're both good. Allie's Got Grit looked better the other day. Looked better. Arrowhead Hanover is training very good. Still a little mentally immature. We're going to keep ratcheting up the pressure on this guy until he gets it just right. But not disappointed with Arrowhead Hanover at all thus far. Atrant, she's in the latter stages now of just that modified training. We'll start training her probably Tuesday. I'm not there Monday, so Tuesday we'll train Atrant. Aunt Lily, I'm not going to give away where the horses were on my list if they're on my list, so I got to catch myself. Aunt Lily trained amazingly the other day. Very, very, very impressed with this filly. You know, we've been touting Freedom Hill, and I told everybody it's still a ways to go. Freedom Hill is soundly in second now behind Aunt Lily as far as the next generation potentials go. Aunt Lily just looked amazing the other day, and Freedom Hill looked good too. But I like what I saw from Aunt Lily. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill, training good, did his work well. I went 1.26 miles with him the other day. Happy with him. Horse that's been surprising me quietly the last little while has been Blue Ventura. This horse trained exceptionally well the other day, and he did train well the week before, so it shouldn't have been too much of a shock, and it wasn't. But just how durable he felt like the other Hesta Blue Chips we've had. We had some good ones. We had some decent ones. More Than You Know was a Hesta Blue Chip. He did good things for us in 2 and 3. And this guy also is a Hesta Blue Chip. I like what I see in Cadeau. He's got his shortcomings. He pulled a little strong in the face. He's a rather heavy horse, but moves quick. And did carry his speed pretty good the other day. For that big taxing gait that he has, he did carry his speed pretty good the other day. Cadeau is getting better every single week, man. He's getting there. That Colt division, the filly division on the pace. So when I talk about the division, I talk about who's going to the next generation, right? As of right now, and we're 5 weeks out, Aunt Lily looks like she might be heading there on the filly trot. Now we'll see if Freedom Hill can catch up again. The Colts are very tight. It looks like I don't play nice, but again, There's a number of horses, Bluebird, Tuxedo Hill, Cadeau. Those horses are coming on and looking good. Pacing filly division is deep also. We have 4 fillies. 3 of them are in the hunt right now for the next generation. And I mean 3 of them right across the track. Gorgeous Package, Foxy Seaside, and Rose Run Alexandra are right there across the track. Now, the only division I thought was a runaway winner probably still is in Rose Run AJ, but I can't believe I'm saying this because he really has not shown that he had that depth, that he had that true speed and grit. Dancing in My Socks trained great the other day. Trained very, very good the other day, actually. I was really impressed with him. So very happy in that regard. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. Captain Incredible, I just saw him today. He looks perfect. His ankles are cooled out. Nellie and Harry have done a great job with this horse and the short time that they've had him. He's looking exactly how we want him to look. The plan is to have him ready for Lexington. So we will formulate a plan to have him ready to go a little bit before Lexington. I certainly don't have a problem with racing him at Mohawk once or twice if that's our plan. But Lexington will be where he'll be headed. Century Legion, I was very happy with Century Legion today. I went with him. Now, was not happy with Mother Nature. It was raining pretty hard when James and I trained, and Century Legion, Chicago Hall, My Wicked Heart, and Trevino on green went well. I was very happy with Century Legion today, really happy with that guy. Chicago Hall, if we didn't have Century Legion or Chicago Hall, either one of them would be fine. To have them both is impressive. And Gaslight Hall is soon to be coming off that modified schedule we had him on, and he wasn't that far behind these guys also. In fact, I thought he was a little bit better than Century Legion training down, but you got to stay sound, you got to stay tough. He's got to catch up now. He's a little bit behind these two. Chicago Hall, I almost pulled my pants down. I'm not gonna ruin the top 10 list for you. But Chicago Hall, very, very impressed with him today. Cleveland Masha will start walking, I believe, next week or the week after, and then light jogging, and then she'll be back in action. There's no reason to believe that she isn't going to be 100% after her downtime. Country Dancing schooled in 2-4 the other day at the Meadows. Tim said she was very good, so that was great to hear. Really happy to hear that. Dancing by Myself was better. Here's a horse that we thought he was the one. He was our flagship colt. But you always got to get through those hurdles, right? You got to be able to turn the corner all the time. And he got to a point where just interfering in speed became a problem. He isn't pounding himself, but he's much like Gypsy Hill. Hitting himself behind, hitting himself behind, hitting himself behind. Now, I did train him in 2-9 the other day, and he was better. But he's still got a long way to go yet. I was happy with him. I like his attitude. I love his work ethic. Just have to continue to work with this guy, see if we can't get him squared away. Dancing in My Socks, as I just said, trained fantastic on Friday. Very, very impressed with this horse. My expectations were on the downswing for him. I said, he might be okay, he might not, I don't know. And then he came out and won a big mile the other day. It was an impressive mile. I'm very impressed with him. Fire and Shine, also another horse that we didn't really talk that much about 2-1. I think 2-1 a piece, 58 on the end of it. I think actually she had the fastest last quarter of any horse in our barn the other day training, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 28, 27, 4, 28. She was smoking on the end of it and looked very, very good doing it. Foxy Seaside, again, one of those 3 fillies that are really putting it together well and looking great. I'm going to go with her in the race bike on Tuesday. Freedom Hill looked great the other day. Again, very happy with Freedom Hill. Take nothing away from what I'm saying. When I say Aunt Lily was good, Aunt Lily looked better than anyone on the trot the other day. Anyone. She looked amazing. So for me to say, Freedom Hill's got some catching up to do, that might be, if you're one of my partners on Freedom Hill, you might be like, that sucks. I thought the Freedom Hill was better. Well, Aunt Lily's always been this big, enormous tractor, and now she's all of a sudden dropped a Hemi into that engine. It's just she looks very, very good. Very good on the track. I'm very happy with her. That is not saying that I'm not happy with Freedom Hill. I am, and will remain happy with Freedom Hill. I like Freedom Hill. Gaslight Hall, the latter part again of the latter stages of that modified training we put them on. Danny's was very, very happy with Resolve Indeed. And the way that she has come and the way she turned back around quickly. Gaslight Hall, same thing. He said he looked great the other day, so that's great news. Gorgeous Package, our Rudy of 2024, I believe. She just looks so good on the track. I was floored by how good she's looked. Grand old chap has turned out. He's going to remain turned out now for another couple of weeks or so. Grand Slam Dio trained great the other day. Her and Green Glitter are right beside each other on this list, and man, they were very, very similar in training. Very happy with what I saw from Green Glitter. 2-3 last half in a minute. Very happy with what I saw from Grand Slam Dio. Same type of thing. 2-3 last half in a minute. It's pretty hard not to be happy with these two horses when they do their work. When they do the work so well on the track, especially this time of year. Gymboree, another one. 2-3 last half in a minute. She looked great. Very happy with her. He's a great guy. I believe he's been in 2-8, but I thought he looked better the other day. He's starting to feel more comfortable in the hobbles, feel more comfortable on the track, and I've been waiting for him to do that, and he has. So he has had the hobbles added over the last month, whereas High Hopes, we took them off. Not very often you have a horse that trains the whole winter. 2-year-old, I can't think of one other horse in recent memory where trained the whole winter with hobbles on, and then we took them off right before she qualified or he qualified. I can't think of a horse. This filly is, though. She looked very good the other day training. I Don't Play Nice is trained very good also this week. Really happy with him. I'm a Trucker will be coming back in. He's supposed to be in a week ago. I'd like to know if Venus is going to return her horse or not. We'll get him back in soon. I'm Ready Too. He's going to go to the field for the same type of thing, a month. We've just been dealing with his knees bothering him. And when they bother him for this long without progression forward, now they will. 100% they will. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. Under x-ray, they're just immature knees. Not a big deal at all. We'll get him out to the field and let him relax for a month or so, bring him back in. Leggy ended up with a chip off her sesamoid, the bugger. So we got to take that chip out, I think. There was a fracture line there with a chip off of it. So the prognosis is excellent for her, I believe, from what I talked to Dr. Latessa and Dr. Brown. She's got to pop that chip out, probably get that out in the next week or so, and then she can begin her rehab. Likely, obviously, as I say that, she's going to miss her 2024 season, but we'll have her ready the latter part of 2024 into 2025. Now, this is important because a lot is riding on what Time Is On My Side does, right? This is a horse that we started the late December into January of his 2 turning 3 year. I want to see how he is at the end of the year. I want to see how he progresses because he raced great from 2 or 3 starts. 4 starts, we shut him down, brought him back, and now he's been racing. He's racing great. I'd love to see him sustain that all the way through the summer into the fall, and I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to do that. That will tell the tale for a lot of these horses, and Leggy is most definitely one of them. LT Troubadour trained great, 2:10, now 2:7. Try for 2:7 again on Tuesday, heading into the qualifiers. Manhattan Money, I think there's a very, very fast horse lurking just under the skin of Manhattan Money. I like him. I think he's a good horse, and I think we're having a lot of fun with this guy this summer. Mountaineer jumped over some horses here. Manhattan Money. Melisandro, same type of thing. I'm not changing my mind with her. We're going to have her ready to go for Lexington, and we've had a number of horses we planned on doing the same thing with, having them ready to go for Lexington, and she's one of them. Memento Mori, he'll be in Lexington, but he'll be ready to go long before Lexington, I think. He looks amazing on the track. Really happy with him. Horse that surprised me the last month, Mountaineer Prince. It's not like, I'm not going to try to compare him to Memento Mori, but for a horse that's done as well as he has and been as fast as he has, I can't help but thinking he's going to be a player in Michigan this summer, so that's a lot of fun. My Wicked Heart actually trained very good today. James said she was good. Now, you go on 2.6 with a pacer in the mud, you're not going to get too enthusiastic, but when they do it perfectly, it feels nice. It feels very good to know that the horse is doing well with all the work that you put into them. So My Wicked Heart was very good today. Never Lose Felix has not been very good for the past 2 weeks. He's a frustrating bugger. I'll tell you what, it seems like he's going to come forward in a big way and then just falls apart for a week. We've treated him a million times for EPN and continue to treat him. I think his stifles are a little weak and sloppy. I think his knees bother him a little bit, and it really hampers his overall consistency. But I'm not going to get too worked up until we get to the track with Felix. Oh Hill No trained great the other day. 2.7 last half, 102. I was very, very impressed with Oh Hill No. Very happy with her. Feels like she's a little bit back away from it. Like, I don't mean speed wise, but just because she missed some time, right? You can feel it. You can feel that time is missed a little bit, but a couple of more training trips like that, and she'll bounce right back up in with them. Pelican Owl will remain out in the field for another little while. Bring him in. Princess Dream is back jogging now. Very happy to hear Princess Dream is jogging. She'll be back training in another couple of weeks, I would imagine. Very happy to hear that. Resolve Indeed trained the last 2 weeks. She trained today at Mohawk. Danny went with her and said she was fantastic, 225. Rose Run AJ. You can't ask him and Alexander to be much better than they were this week. Both those horses trained phenomenally well. I'm very excited about the Ohio horses, in particular, the Ohio Pacers that we have this year. Very new for us. Rosetta has been training great. She'll need one more tightening up on Tuesday. I'll give that to her in the race bike on Tuesday. She sits in the bar, will not be training on Tuesday, and eager to see how this plays out. She's been such a good horse training down. First horse in the race bike, first good mile from one of our 2-year-olds was her. Then just a horrible accident where she got out and injured herself. So she had quite a laceration right into her ankle. And they did a test the other day, and her infection, there's no infection. It's very low, very manageable, which is good. Under x-ray, they've been happy with what they saw. So it's a long road back. She's not going to race this year. But as I said to Dr. Latessa, when we get her in the Aqua Treadmill, the first couple of days she starts walking sound. She's going right down to Kentucky to get turned out for the rest of the summer, and that's my plan with She Sits at the Bar. Southwind Ibex continues to train well. He trained good again the other day. Happy to see that. On the tracks, Speed of Sound. Still a little bit behind everybody, but training good. She trained good the other day. The Priest trained very good. He's been in 2.6. I'll train him in the race bike on Tuesday. Trevino on Green trained in 2.6 today, but still forging quite a bit. I know I talked to Danny, and Danny's a super old horseman, and it's tough for him to look at a horse. Here's my take on Trevino on Green. He looks like Stay Close. He's immature, and he's forging. It's very difficult to change that, right? And he paddles out with his left front and forges with that left hind on that left front. So is it a speed thing? Do we got to slow him down behind, speed him up front? It seems like a puzzle we should be able to solve, but it's not always that easy, right? Now, there's not saying that it won't be. I told Danny, you have carte blanche. You can change whatever you want. I said, but if we come to this path, you stay on this path, and a month from now we're having the same discussions, I'm more apt to just turn them out. Especially when you go with Chicago Hall and Century Legion, and they feel like they go mile 59 right now. There's nothing wrong with that. There's lots of time, but we have to be able to use that time constructively. I like Trevino on Green. I think he's a nice horse. And if we got to give him time, then we'll give him time. It's not really the end of the world, but that's what it will. That's what it will boil down to. Wander Hill. I like Wander Hill. I think he's a very nice horse. Nice horse in himself, personally speaking. But as far as a racehorse is concerned, I'd like to see a little more from him. I trained him hard on Friday. He's going to train not as hard, but he's going to train on Wednesday, and we'll see what comes of that training session on Wednesday. That was Wander Hill. Westland Warrior is. I think the only way to put it, I'll put it to you like this: one of our top colts, and still didn't make the top 10 list. That's how weird that is. I like that horse very much so. I think he's going to be a nice horse for us all summer long, and has trained great, looked great the other day training. I've been very, very impressed with him. Let's see how he qualifies and starts racing. But I felt bad because I didn't put him on the top 10, but you got me. I made it all the way through the list almost without revealing my top 10 list, and I did. What a lady, what a night. She'll be ready to go in August. She's training good. I'm very happy with what I see from her. And then Woodmere Betcha, a little time off. Some of that modified training, same thing we did with the other horses, but a different way. She ended up having a little dark spot on her tendon under ultrasound. Now, I saw her with my plain eyes today, and I can't see anything wrong with her. It's there. So I think the best course of action for her, send her down to PEI. Let them keep a close eye on her, watch her. I think she's going to continue to jog, and then formulate a plan with Jamie Smith is going to formulate a plan with his veterinarian down there, and that will be the plan of attack for Woodmere Betcha. But again, I think very highly of this filly, and I think she will absolutely race in 2024. I think it'll be a little bit later in the summer. Whatever's best for the horse, as I say, is always best for us. So with that, all your videos are done now. Every single one of them. I'm thoroughly pleased with the 2-year-olds this week in training. Very happy with the horses on the racetrack, Spitfire Overseas and Pickpocket. Just really happy that those horses are doing well. The open house is coming up, as I said. Please remember to RSVP. Put your RSVPs in. It's very important. And come to the track. Have some fun. Hang out. It should be a lot of fun. Next Sunday, June the 2nd, is when it all takes place. Official qualifiers. The first time ever that the Stable.ca is going to be having an open house on qualifying day, but it is coming on June the 2nd. Talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.